Welcome back to Business at its Best. You know, small business owners are already working on 2012 to-do lists, budgets, goals, employee resource issues. We're here to help with that last item. Steve Cilley with Ataraxis joins us. Stephen, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, what is Ataraxis for the folks out there?
It's a PEO, so we take care of all the employee services for a business.
A PEO?
Yeah, professional employer organization.
Okay, very good. So you would come in and help me with all of my HR issues?
HR, benefits, work comp, unemployment, payroll, anything to do with your employees we'll take care of.
Very good. You have a list that you've brought in with us, but let's start with the top three must-dos for 2012 as far as employers are concerned, what they need to be doing for their employees.
Okay, well the first thing that's going to happen is it doesn't look like the tax break is going to be voted on, which is the employee tax break on the Social Security, the 2%. They're still talking about it, but who knows if it's going to go through. So just watch that carefully, because if it doesn't, you got to make sure all your payroll taxes are inside your payroll system are up to date, so that you get the calculation in there properly. And the wage base for Social Security is going to go up to $110,100 from $106,800. So it'll change the taxing.
And that happens at the first of the year? Or
January 1 is this,
okay.
It's going to be for the first payroll of the year. So just watch to see if that happens, because if it does pass, you'll get a late update from your payroll, either your payroll company, your PEO, or your software. Lesson
learned is that we're watching Washington closely on this stuff.
Right.
Okay. Next, new requirements on disclosures for retirement funds.
Yeah, as of the first of the year, you've got to, if you have a 401k type plan, you have to make sure that all the fees that are associated with that plan are disclosed to its participants. And so that means that they need to be aware of all the fees inside of that. A lot of times these things are hard to see and hard to tell what they are. Inside the plan, it's not very easily to distinguish what they are as this participant. Okay. Some are paid by the plan, some are paid by the individual. Now this has to be specific in writing so the participant understands where his money goes when he puts it into the 401k or the plan. The problem with this for people who have a plan is it now puts more fiduciary requirements on the fiduciary of the plan, the ones who's in charge of the money and making the decisions for the plans, because now you've got to make sure that you're prudent in getting cost-effective plans into your 401k, or the employees might not be happy if something goes wrong.
Okay. Third item, a new poster that needs to go up on the board.
Correct. 31st of January is the date. This is the National Labor Relations Board. The big issue with this is not only just the poster, but also the fact that this gives the employees notice that everybody who falls underneath the regulations of the National Labor Relations Board has the right to organize into a union. And it falls to companies. If you fall underneath one, you could be an employer of one employee up to however many. But it's noticed that they have the right to organize, and if you do anything that discourages that, you can get in trouble. So there aren't any real penalties for not having the poster up, except for the fact that you got to make sure it's there, because if then someone goes to the National Labor Relations Board and says that they weren't given notice or it was a problem, then they draw more attention to you, and it can create issues.
Quick Better Business Bureau warning for folks on this one. There are companies out there that try to sell these employment posters, and they try to sell them for a lot of money.
Right.
You can download these for free. You do not need to buy these posters. You download them for free.
I downloaded this before I came. Just go to nlrb.gov, and it's right on the front page of you can download it for free.
National
Labor Relations Board.
NLRB.gov, and that .gov is so important for folks. So Don't buy these posters. Now there's three things we need to be watching for. We got a minute left. So
okay, just quickly, healthcare reform. There's not a whole lot that's going into effect this year. Kind of a year off on that, but watch for possibly needing to give people a summary of benefits. That's still been pushed off. The other thing is non-discrimination for your benefits. This was supposed to go into effect in 2010, which means everybody has to be reimbursed the same or paid for the same. You can't have managers at 100% and employees at 50%. Everybody's going to have to be compensated the same for their benefits program. Hasn't been decided on when that's going to go into effect because they haven't figured out how to police it. But when they do, it's probably going to be this year, so watch for changes on that. And then just keep your eye on independent contractor misclassification from the IRS, because the IRS is going to make rules about whether or not they're going to come after people for classifying people as independent contractor when they should have been employees.
All right. Stephen Cilley, the firm is Ataraxis, and your website?
AtaraxisPEO.com.
AtaraxisPEO.com. Thanks so much for being with us. Important information for small businesses. All right, have a great new year and a Merry Christmas to you. And that